tu parada nikukula vako. Wewe piga panganga tunakuja kwako. Kesho utanipa nimedunga chuja zako. Wewe si gangster ati tumefuga ras na nikifika lawama si
Ilikuwa ni mic check, yani 1 2. The class me na fly juu na watanga na mafala wana kudangala juu. Nitoto na friends wale nimevaa nikikutaka kutafuta juu. Na tunitoto kama nini wacha tunde na fia na bonga taka madafata kushuria dustbin. Motherfucker kwa kitabebani video na kula tu saizi. Sasa songa ni kutoka teke. Kupoteza wakati venye na dogo tadhani nimekujanga na kina funga teke ndo mimi natoka. Kuna wase wanatupuka ati ni wakali na batosha. Sindo serikali kicheza na tunakupiga matoka. Ushanikubali natoka. Kupea bigi na park. Ndo nafufua kwa map na wakatakata na washanda design ya Gaddafi. Ligi yenye mimi nakaa ni badata na mabobo shanti. Tumevuka mipaka na mpaka sasa wanasema Illuminati. Hilo dadi nimedana na sipotezi pakati. 24/7 nikaje na saka bidii na tafuta nipate. Manapapa senge ni kama bakuna manyege venye wanaandama kila wakati ni makameme wanaponga bongo kiwa pato kwa umati. Acha kwanza dejavu. So fanya tengeneza du. Niko kanisa pole pole kama kobe na kanyaga kaguu. Japo nashika na tools kwanza kuongeza ngana mzinga full. Inatokeza deni mpaka na tufika. Ngangano utafikanga tu kutoka chini mpaka upandange juu. Simize zeve ni bidii na maombi fanya kazi utafika soon. Nimetoka mbali na mpaka panye nimefika ni Mungu. Ushanikubali maheza kwa kila mali kuna machungu. Siponge sana songa kadibu tukone chenye wewe unaweza fanya. Mimi niko sama venye nalipuka na maneno hawezi bishana. Sana na jana tukangea jayo ndo tutasafiri salama. Songa mbele kuna kurudi nyuma tunapambana. Brother nijezeka tufike far. Walidhani wakinitoka ndatoka. Give up. Ona sasa panachanga venye natoka teke na bado sirudi back. Nikiwa nipika na zidi vuka boda kama jangwa. Inile mboga panda tabuke mkatakataka tunakukataka ndo kabaka pande za pagana ni mimi mama tu kama sitajamini sitapita na nikikazidi kapata pana kila mali nasifika bazenga na sitafadhali mimi ndo kusema venye na temu ndani ninyoke na sakadema tunaifanya tena na tena kama dada kapela na hard demand bila hata kuhema na bado sijamaliza ndo nimeanza tu kupa hakuna na pande tafuta venye nimefika nimetoka mbali na mpaka sasa mimi ndo nasifika na serikali na venye vitu vifanyike na sitafadhali songa mbele kama sikaji unabonga hizo makali na nyinyi wote mko chini na kuja kama Ferrari kichikana na mwingine na panga kama magari mimi wangali machini ukipoka takataka unatupata pata ndio kuna venye nataka nionyesha madapo chini kifika ngalita na pande tena na sasa nimekata chini nitekana kama pako kinitaka nipata na mafu tunakupa kujifanya kama motherfucker. Yeah, Elishina, you know what time is it? Fully mad round 1, sign it down 2. You ilikuwa ni mic check, yani 1 2. Fully mad round 1, sign it down 2. You ilikuwa ni mic check, yani 1 2. Number 1, say your class me na fly juu. Nafuatanga na mafala wanakujanga la juu. Nitoka na friends ndo nimevaa nikikutaka kutafuta juu. Hii ni kama noma 2020 kama ndivyo wacha tuende na flow.
Hii na trend ama nini hapa? Nijenge kamera.
LGBTQ wamefanya
Ile UG.
watu waongelee.
Hiyo topic ni. Naona kama hizi zinakuanga sensitive.
Lazima tu
Kama-
Mpate upendo, mpe prepared for what's about to go down.
Ndio pige hiyo.
Nani leo anatoka? Unajua kile nimezoea kama sio Rona na Rant, Mike na Rant. So leo surprise me. Nilikuwa lecture tu na Rona hapo onea.
unaweza run yani.
Nini? Vitu jioni kajanga kwa tu ni
Moderate.
na kuhandle machine.
I think I screenshot.
Kusema hiyo it is now 10 minutes blah 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 blah. Kwani umeenda wapi hiyo star? Child. Ni child. Yaani pia media houses zenye zina promote hii shit. Sasa lakini tusikue extreme, si ndio?
Tutakujua hapa na genge.
Hatuwezi kosa hapa members wenye wako hiyo ng'ambo. Mike. Sasa inaonekana. Kile ni Mike. Kijana inakuwa na kigobe na hivyo sasa hivi.
So nini?
Attempted homosexual.
Yeye sijui ni gani by the way.
Story man. Divine.
Unaingia sahi?
Hadi mtoi.
Guys, thank you for reminding me.
Child found guilty of homosexuality 3 years.
Guy.
Sawa.
Hawa inaisha. Kama nimesahau.
Yeah, link.
A very, very good afternoon to you. It is the 30th day of May. It's now 1:17 p.m. My name is George Mark, and Karibu Ribu Sana to the Langton Express. I'm hanging out with my words, of course. We've got,
Rom Chege.
Michael Osotsi.
and it's about to go down as usual. We've been waiting for you since yesterday. Now that was Jana Usiku. So my question to you is, what have you been up to, Jana Usiku? How's your week started? Is it a good week? Is it a good Tuesday?
It is.
To
It's a
you?
good Tuesday. Very
Uh-huh.
bright, though cold.
Kuna baridi wanasema ni weather watu wawili man.
Si lazima.
Oh.
Si lazima.
Hey, what do you mean si lazima bro?
Si lazima. Kwani nini joto lazima utoe kwa mtu mwingine?
Unaweza. Kama uko
Light a candle.
Light a candle. And get your temperature in order.
Yeah, of course.
You're not promoting any premarital cohabitation. Wewe ni ule mtu tuoane ndo tuishi pamoja.
Ndio. Joto
Baadaye.
joto baadaye.
So shout outs to Mike. Mike is still a virgin, by the way.
George.
Heat up, of course, right? Ron, how was your Jana Usiku, man?
Niko tu sawa. Just went to work. Nothing to write home about.
All right. Nice. Good to know, man. So, of course, 10 minutes into the hour, lunchtime out there. Any lunchtime plans you guys might have?
Me, work.
Right. Work up until 2.
Just work.
Ron,
What?
any lunchtime plan you might be having?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get straight to business, Basi. You guys tell me what's been happening. Nasikia kuna controversy mingi sana East Africa, more specifically Uganda.
Our brothers from the Museveni Tehran.
Oh yes.
From the man himself.
Himself.
Amesema nini?
So there's been this raging debate that has been
Alright.
going on in Uganda. The anti-LGBTQ Act.
Right.
So it was actually assented to law.
All right.
I think yesterday by M7.
Who's M7?
Museveni.
Oh, okay.
M7. Yeah. The name is M7.
Mhm.
So remember the Sun once said he can capture Nairobi within those guys are very tough. Very tough.
At this point, bana, heri tukue tu Uganda tujue
Kone?
the finance bill.
Oh,
Oh,
finance.
oh,
Okay,
okay.
now.
Maze. At least tasemaje, hii finance bill inatupeleka mbio and I hope it doesn't go through, but let's not digress.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, so Museveni
Amesema
Museveni
nini?
anasema nini? Hebu tuambie.
Shockers, man.
Museveni imesema signed the anti-LGBTQ Act. It's been assented to law.
Right.
So, just give you a snippet of
Alright.
the law now
All right.
entails. Says a person convicted of aggravated homosexuality punishable by death.
Hold up. Person
Convicted
of
aggravated homosexuality.
aggravated homosexuality.
Yes.
Punishable by death.
Aggravated, what does aggravated mean?
Wacha tuzipitia kwanza. Then
Okay,
tutazi
sawa.
nini.
To dissect. Okay, so.
Dissect
So that's
pamoja.
one.
That's one.
All right. Punishable by death.
Punishable by death.
Okay. Good.
Two.
Okay. No.
Person who commits the offense of homosexuality.
Uh-huh.
You get 20 years. Person who commits the offense
Whew.
of homosexuality, 20 years.
20 years behind
Yes.
bars.
20 years
Alright.
behind bars.
All right.
Person convicted of promotion of homosexuality, 20
Oh.
years.
Okay. Okay.
Person recruiting children into homosexuality, 20 years as well.
My God.
Person who has committed the attempted aggravated homosexuality, 14 years.
Oh, if like you've attempted to commit.
Committed the attempted aggravated.
Haukufaulu.
The bounce kiasi. All right.
Now, this is very interesting, listen up.
Okay.
Person who has been convicted of attempted homosexuality, 10 years. I'd like to know what this means.
All right.
Attempted homosexuality.
Attempted homosexuality.
Yeah.
All right. Going to Malaysia then.
All right. The owner of the premises that promote homosexuality, 10 years.
All right.
Child found guilty of homosexuality.
Hold up. Hold up.
3
Pastor,
years.
before you go, before you talk about the kid,
Mhm.
you ngine umesema nini?
The owner
Uh-huh.
of the premises that promote homosexuality.
So if you come to my house,
years.
something like that, and you guys do homosexuality,
But
you
so,
need a
You
phone
get 10
no,
years.
but, yeah, you get 10 years, but you know, if you like promoting it, I don't know what promoting it.
got 10 years.
Promoting. So
Right,
if
so
so
No
in
gay
other
friends at
words,
home.
Like so some people have come and
Yeah.
rented your
In your
apartment.
house, okay, or rented, okay?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Because
then-
they've said it's the owner of the premises.
Yes,
They have
one of
not
the premises
said
that
the-
promote homosexuality.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
people are the landlords, you know.
Mhm.
Your tenants decide to So do you think that can affect, like, do you get these 10 years?
Hey, it's Uganda,
Yeah, good.
bro.
You know, it's
Uganda,
and then you know, I think the word here promotion is very relative.
Right.
I don't know whether it's if you know such is happening in your premises
And you don't like report
and
it.
you don't report it.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's
So,
let's
yeah.
finish the last one, then
The
we.
child found guilty of homosexuality, 3 years. Child. It's like
Mtoto.
what's been happening sometimes in schools
Right.
and all that. You know,
So
those are
that's
kids.
that's
That's a child.
That's
No,
a
under
child.
18.
under 18.
All right.
Yeah, 3 years.
Sasa we dissect these issues. Kuna ingine?
Yeah, ya mwisho kabisa.
Aya, mwisho before to
Media
dissect
houses
after
that
break.
publish materials that promote homosexuality
Uh-huh.
get a fine of 1 billion. I
What?
think that's Ugandan shillings.
All right. All right.
Uh-huh. And
Uh-huh.
license revoked for 10 years.
All right. My goodness.
Oh,
Sawa
yeah.
sawa.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
give you more details on that. It's too much to handle. Musting go. Kahush Chris Kaiga coming right up.
Then we dissect this.
What the fuck? Look, man, this is goes to extreme. Hey, Genie. Tusalimie leo hata. Jina akivaa hiyo
Koti attitude.
akivaa koti na hiyo denim pocha ongeleshangi.
And the lips.
Ooh.
The lips are looking.
Hey.
Looking.
Ini ponytail ama tutaita nini? Hebu do a 360 for the boys, for the camp. Our fans also want to be you, man. Asking for the fans. No, you minute 360.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Aggravated homosexuality ilikuwa nakujua ni nini?
aggravated, ni kaa aggravated.
Ama ni kama aggravated assault, like
Ni
rape.
kaa rape.
Like rape. Oh yeah.
Acha tumalize kwa aggravated homosexuality.
Aggravated.
Made more serious by attendant circumstance. So yule mtu kama wewe utaki lakini anakuforce, si ndio?
Aggravated meaning made more serious by attendant circumstances. So meaning aggravated ni kama imego through because kulikuwa na hii attempted aggravated.
Ni kama you attempt, ni kama rape but you never attempted.
Alright. After ngo watu narudi.
Okay. Ndio nasikia nani Biden amesema anataka kwanza kuwithdraw aid
Uganda.
to Uganda kufuata bill.
Uganda wako sawa.
By the way, wako sawa.
Umesikia Uganda watu wanakufa na njaa.
By the way, nani nilikuwa nasikia kitu wapi? Ama from a Uganda somewhere. Alikuwa anasema hasa wamepanda vitu mob na because wameinvest sana tutapata tuseme ni kama sisi ni mabro. Huwezi kufanya nikiwa like unyangu ni vast.
Ndio ujue like they have so much food. Like unaona ukienda kibanda huko like uitishe unapeango sauce ya beans kama sauce beans whole beans now unaenda unaona customer like wanakuwekea beans ka sauce what like iko free so they don't need aid yenye wanapeango ni ya pesa
Ndio. Au ni ado peke yake. Ndio do ni healthcare na vitu kama hizo ndio. That was Mastingo Kahush featuring Chris Kaiga. The song gathered 3.1 million views. That was 2 years ago.
Kaushi the same as Kahora.
No.
Kahush the same as? Kahush the same as?
Kahora?
Kahora or Kahungu?
I don't know.
Kahora.
No, like the name. No, Kaushi is a short form.
Oh yeah, it is a short form.
Of a certain nini name. Sijui kama ni Kahora ama
Kale na karaskendi is a rich kid fulani pale.
nani?
Hiyo Kahush.
Oh yeah.
Yes, ni mtoto wa nini? Alikuwa anaitwa Mutaki Kagwe.
Mutaye.
Also ni I think the nephew or niece or cousin to this Kagwe that's in
Mungai. Oh yeah.
Mungai,
Yeah. Kagwe Mungai. yeah.
Kagwe Mungai.
Kagwe.
Oh,
yeah.
they're related.
Yeah.
Okay.
True. So now back to the story of the hour, man. Whoop. Ska Uganda, it's literally
It's burning.
it's burning bananas, man. Kwani what? Tuanze kwanza before we even break down those pointers umetuambia.
We get to the nini Kahush is Kahumburu.
Oh, Kahumburu.
Waitanga Kahumburu.
Kahumburu Mutahi. Yeah.
Alright, shout out to Kahumburu Mutai. One of these fine days pitia studio bana we catch up kidogo, si ndio?
Sure.
Yeah. So let me ask before we even talk about those things in details, right? Those pointers umetupatia. What's the global reaction to Uganda's bill? Have you guys managed to perhaps see it? What's the world out there saying?
I've just seen one from the US.
Okay.
Where the president has actually termed that as infringement of human rights.
Oh my God. Okay.
It's the US.
Infringement of human rights.
Of human rights.
Okay.
To the pit. So, and he's actually sent people, I think representatives or whatever people that are in Uganda representing the US government.
Yeah.
Because he seeks to withdraw aiding services from the US government to Uganda.
Okay.
Just because of the bill.
All right.
And I'm sure it's going to create a whole, very raging debate
For sure.
across the world to people who are actually supporting the LGBTQ community. So it's going to be fire.
It's more for
And he also
watching.
said, people from Uganda who are actually supporting that are facing sanctions, from the US government. Yeah.
Oh, so also the US government is targeting individuals also.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You see, if you come out strongly and you are advocating for this bill, right now it's not even a bill, law.
It's
You're
law.
actually supporting it.
It's already
It's already in place. It's already law. It's already been assented, and you're facing sanctions from the US government.
Sanctions now, like no traveling to
Not
the
traveling
US,
to the US.
no businesses in the US.
Exactly. And I don't know if other countries will jump on these.
Probably they will. They will.
I'm looking at countries like Canada,
Germany, of course.
Germany.
Yeah.
Oh, of course they will. Why not? I mean, so I think in future we are looking at a scenario where we see like a migration of people to the US because now I think those who are in the LGBT community have now grounds to seek asylum in the US and the Germany. So I foresee like a great migration of people getting out of Uganda and going to Europe.
I'm actually laughing. All those that are going to seek asylum, are they going to be genuine?
Now I wonder how they're gonna like prove that they are homosexual.
Sign a form.
How do you prove that you're a homosexual?
Maybe upload a video.
How?
Maybe.
But you know,
people can do anything. You know,
If guys get married just to go to the US.
This Uganda
it's my
is too
only
much,
ticket
man.
to.
Yeah, it takes
the
another
land of
man
dreams.
and says we are homosexuals, we wanna get married, and then they're gonna break up later.
But I don't think the US is gonna grant them asylum. You know why? I think they're just trying to like that control that we call it subliminal control or something, because I feel
Not
like
even subliminal.
they're just trying to show Uganda
Outright.
that, you know what,
You know, you're the boss.
we want to influence your decisions.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't comply to what we're telling you, then to withdraw. You know, you know.
Yeah, and that's something I don't like about,
I do not like
about US. You know,
Countries like US, yeah.
yeah, like
It's like everybody should bow down to them.
exactly. Ati sasa tumesema kama ufanyi hivi hatufanyi hivi. That's
not how you know, hiyo ni kujiona na to think that you can just get into someone else house na waambie kama mtaacha kukula kupika omena kila siku kuna vitu tutafanya,
you know.
Yeah. Like it's so intrusive actually.
Yeah, it's very intrusive.
You know, for someone to think that they can decide what's low and low, and that's beside what we are talking about today. I'm not just talking about this law on LGBTQ, but it cuts across even in the politics. We've seen them go into other countries like Iraq. It had nothing to do with LGBTQ. We have seen them go to try to control Saudi, but unfortunately Saudi is too rich and they are and it controls the dollar also.
True.
Yes.
So there's very little they could do there.
Yeah.
Then we've seen them in of course North Korea.
We also saw their very strong opinionated responses when it came to Russia.
Yeah.
Remember what was happening
Oh
in
yeah,
Russia,
yeah,
Ukraine?
yeah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
is that war still ongoing? Because
I actually saw Ukrainian's president saying, I think it's really, really coming down and all that. But so of course countries like US asserting authority and saying, okay, fine, if you do not agree to these, we're going to expel you from this. We're going to, because you saw people like Roman Abramovich, former owner of Chelsea club.
yeah,
Those are people that actually faced the hit.
True.
It's Russian.
True.
So he had to lose the club.
true.
A lot of other business people who were Russians, they had to lose their businesses that they had invested in the Western countries. So
They're called the Russian oligarchs.
yeah, Russian
Oh, yeah.
oligarchs. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, also, but what do you think? Before we get back to Uganda, now let's talk, because you brought a very important issue of Russia and Ukraine. Now, the reason, because Putin, I think he had like all the grounds to start the war. I'm not saying I support the war, but he had grounds because you see, NATO was expanding.
Yeah.
And it was expanding towards Russia.
Towards Russia, huh?
So of course it's expanding, and that poses a risk to it. Slovakia, I think.
Slovakia.
Yeah, there was those countries that
those
was
Poland.
sort of like separating Russia
Yeah.
The Nordics.
from NATO. Now the countries
the former
in the NATO.
when they were the former USSR.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Sawa,
And
sawa.
so
We are sorry.
now NATO
Yes,
was
sorry.
expanding towards those countries. Now it was saying that Ukraine wanted to join NATO. All these countries on the border.
Right.
Now meaning like NATO and Russia were gonna be side to side. So Putin had warned, say if NATO doesn't stop expanding, Russia will be forced to respond.
Okay.
Yeah.
but NATO didn't listen and they kept going.
Mm-hmm.
So I think of course he did something. So, and that's the war we're seeing right here. But
Right.
of course, there's more than meets the eye. It's not just NATO. It's a lot of politics going around.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And
All
also,
supremacy battles.
All right.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And coming back to this Uganda thing, George, if I may ask, do you think? I don't even know what you think.
Yeah. Ask away.
What's your opinion about the law?
About the law.
Yes.
Mm.
Do you think there's some infringement of rights against the LGBTQ community?
I'll start by saying, first and foremost, I have nothing against the LGBTQ community, okay? I feel like anybody and everybody has a right to do what they want to do with their bodies
It's
and
more like
everything.
LGBTQIA+. I do not know
So
what
many
that
things,
stands
yeah.
for.
Zinakuanga sijui LGBTQ, sijui what kuna Z. Ni mingi.
All right.
But I respect personal choice, sexuality. But then again, I also respect a country's independence and a country's, what's the word? There's this word I'm looking
Sovereignty.
for. Sovereignty, you know? And I feel like if Uganda feel like as part of our culture, as part of who we are as a nation, who we are as a people, we do not support this. I feel the president, the legislation had every right in the world to come up with that bill, which was made, which was passed to law. So I feel like there are two things here. One, we respect that individual choice, but then again, we also have to respect a country's decision on some things that aren't wanajua, because they have their own history. They have their own. Then I look at Memorial Day, US,
Yeah.
they're celebrating their own people. They're not celebrating at Kenyans or Ugandans. That's their culture, and we have to respect it. So in Uganda as well, if that's their culture, who are we to go against it? That's my view. That's my
That's your view.
Yeah.
Ron, I may pose this to you. That's George. And that's the Ugandan culture.
Yeah.
So do you think a replica of the same would have made sense here in Kenya, knowing that our culture is not very much different from Uganda, from where I stand? So do you think it would have seen the light of the day?
Now, LGBTQ. So, of course, I have some things against them. I have some things that, first, personally, as a person, I don't like. For me, if you do something that doesn't affect me,
Okay.
then I don't see why I should like come into your bedroom and say that you're doing this and this and this. But then if you do something that affects me or affect another person, because your right to swing an arm stops where my face begins. You know, if it affects me, then I think that's where I draw the line. Now, why am I saying that I have some things against this whole, and not just you as the people, but I have something against just the whole system and how it's handling this LGBTQ issue. You know, now I don't know whether you realize that every time you put on a movie on Netflix, like nowadays you cannot just open any random movie on Netflix and think you can watch it with your kids.
Even cartoons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like when now it start affecting like myself, I know someone will say that anything that, but you know, it's out. You know, you're like this and you're watching it with your kid. When you see two men, you fear they're gonna start doing some shit the next minute. No. Now I have against it, and also I have against because you know they have talked about aggravated homosexuality,
Yes.
which
Has been happening.
yeah, which
Quite some
sodomy.
many people, yeah.
You know, people have been sodomized.
Yeah.
You know, men have you know molested other men.
Yeah.
I have an issue with that. You know, but if you're just two people doing your thing, no, and I don't care what you do, but don't you know, I also have a right as a heterosexual male, you know, and heterosexual individuals, like we also have right we have right to express ourselves, and in a country like Kenya where PDA is like frowned at, you know, I think people have held back and like, you know, have sort of held back and understood that, you know, okay, I cannot just go start, you know, doing things in public, you know. There's that, you know, holding yourself back, you know, don't rub it on our faces, you know. And also, as a heterosexual male, I understand, I'm mature enough to understand that, you know, there's a lot of things that I don't understand. And just because I'm a heterosexual male doesn't make me an expert in human sexual orientation. So I don't understand what why they do what they do. I don't understand why they do what they do. And so I'm mature enough to know that, you know, I'm not gonna play God in this situation. You know, I'm not gonna say this is wrong, this is okay, this is bad, this is good. You know, I don't think it's in my place to decide what's good and what's bad. And in terms of Uganda, personally, I think the penalties are a bit quite harsh. Harsh. Except that for
Aggravated.
Yeah.
I think that's wrong.
Yeah.
And it can deserve any penalty that's deemed fit.
All right.
Okay. But for a child,
For the rest.
remember, for a child, these you know, people who are still like, you can imagine if you're in boarding school, people are still, you know, figuring out life. These are adolescents, children, feel like they have all these hormones working. So getting 3 years, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. I mean, and 3 years where? Is it in juvenile or is it in the adults prison?
Don't joke with Uganda. Inaweza kuwa hata kwa adults prison.
I know. It's very possible.
Uganda don't joke. Uganda
And also,
joke.
the one that doesn't even make sense to me is the one on premises, owners of premises. Who seem to promote, you know,
owners of premises that promote homosexuality.
I kind of feel that can be very misused. You know, that can be misused a lot.
If someone has something against you.
Yeah, because, you know, promotion, as you said, is very relative.
Relative, yes.
And it's also it's vague in some aspect, because how do you say you're promoting? How can you? Who decides if I'm pro or
anti?
Let me jump on that. This is my thinking. I think that what I mean is, one of the premises is, for example, I have a bash. I've rented out a place. It's my house. Then I have a bash, and in that bash, let's say we have that activity going on. I mean, we have some people, maybe watafanya your activity. So I feel that's what they mean by one of the premises who's actually promoting that.
Using the same analogy. Yeah. How you imagine? Like you make a bash and there's 50 people in there, and then 2 of them go to the balcony and start doing their own stuff.
So what
and
I
then
do,
someone from downstairs angalie jivi awaone ndio wale
anasema hapo ni kwa
George. Kiateka angalie juu aone wako kwa balcony.
That's a good perspective.
Because I'm trying to think of the whole of this thing, the punishable offenses, you know, the jail terms and all that. And it's very ironical because it beats logic. If you are caught in the act and you are convicted, you're still taken to prison, man. I mean,
so like
sabuni huko, you know.
You get my point.
Yeah.
But for me, I would say, I'll also put in my views and opinion. I also don't have anything against what a person decides to do. But just like Ron has said, if it starts affecting me, that's where there's a problem. Now, you see, when you have people who would want to instill certain ideologies into your child, and you know, okay, fine, I'm raising my child in a certain way, but they instill the whatever thoughts they have to my small child and say, okay, no, this is not the right way, this is the right way. Sometimes, you know, people of the same sex can get together and all that. Just trying to confuse my child.
True.
Now that affects me personally, and I would literally be against that. Okay. So as for the law in Uganda, whether it's infringing on people's rights, I would say to some extent, because the problem with Africa, sometimes when you're caught doing something or you're suspected of doing something, it might go haywire. People are always quick to jump on and mob justice, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
true. So I don't agree with that part. But I just know Uganda would have just found a way to regulate this bill before it actually became to law. They would have actually just amended some parts to fit the the purpose, because
It's a bit too extreme.
It's a bit too extreme to some extent, because these people are there.
Yeah.
They'll always be there.
True.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I highly doubt whether the same would happen in Kenya.
Yeah.
Because,
for Kenya,
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, first of all, I think if you compare between Kenya and Uganda, the community itself in Kenya, it's making strides. If you look at what they had like a win. I can't really. What was the win they had in court that people were talking about?
The court ruled NGOs that were for the LGBTQ.
the right of
be allowed,
association.
right of association and to be registered, because their body had declined to register them. Yeah.
So you see now, if you compare them to Uganda, in Kenya they have made some strides. Because they are winning court cases now.
But now, bro, I agree with you, but I think it's really not. Let me not say with, but the community has made those strides, which is mostly due to how we are as an, like we are a democratic nation, and I think we also allow kuna freedom of speech, kuna those things that kama tunaweza be president, tunaweza Uganda would go and try and tell Museveni something. They all say our best it's mandatory, our best president, and he's the only president after Idi Amin. And Ameka into power for how many years? In power rather, how many years?
More than
almost heading to 30.
30 something.
30 something years.
Are you kidding me?
Same. When Museveni got into power, I think Bobi Wine was 2 or 3 years.
See, honor
Bobi
yourself.
Wine is 30 something right now.
So if I think in Uganda it's more about, does Museveni like it? If he likes it, yes. Does Museveni not like it or dislike it? If he does dislike it or whatever, then nothing happens.
Okay.
They don't have that. They don't have that maturity in terms of democracy, maturity in terms of governance that we can see in Kenya, where someone like Salasia can insult the president and just get away with it. Uganda ndio kwa saizi tunaona ukinyongwa live on TV. Bobi Wine alifanywa nini when he was out there arguing with the president?
Tortured, man.
He was tortured.
Yeah.
And he could do nothing about it.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much just what's happening out there at the moment. And yeah.
So wacha tuone how things will unfold.
It's a wait and see thing.
Yeah, it's a wait and see game. Yeah.
So I know I do not support maybe the penalties.
Okay.
But I understand like where the Uganda as a country is coming from.
Yeah.
Because I think even the US like made that bill what it is, because if they came with threats, and of course as an African country, they wanted to like show like we can do whatever we want to do.
Yeah.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Which I support.
Yeah. They made I say it was just a bill. I wish they could not have interfered. Maybe this thing could have taken a different course. But now they were, because if you even watch because I saw clips on the proceedings on Parliament, the way most MPs were talking about how US is patronizing them and trying to, so you could hear utterances like no, they can keep their aid, we don't need that in Uganda. If that's gonna what's gonna make us compromise on our culture and customs, then so I think US, just by getting involved by a country that has openly for a very long time been anti-America,
Right, yeah.
I mean, it's like Uganda has been anti-Uganda. Museveni was right now is like Mugabe, someone who is calling out on the imperialist agenda. So them just getting involved, they made this bill what it is.
All right.
Yes.
All right, so that's Ron, and I think we're just gonna go for a quick music break. Then when we come back, we get to talk more about this as I guess we wrap up the show.
Yep.
Remember, it is Tuesday, the 30th day of May. It is now 9 minutes to 2 p.m. Hope you're having an amazing lunch, whatever you may be. Let us know what you're having, and of course, chip in with some comments. What do you think about that bill that was passed into law? I'm nataka kuambia watu wa it's like under the way the Uganda guys are telling the US, staki kukuona. Staki kukuona.
Nah,
Yeah, kind of like Kaka Sungura back in the days. Let's jump to it.
Unajua mimi napenda story sana, lakini kasi busy au do mimi naona tu utembea, yani unajua
Dice mzea, Kaka Sungura, Rabbit, Enengine mzea, si unajua kasi pesa au biashara, basi tembea. Nani tembea, kasi ganji au mradi, basi tembea. Nani tembea, na staki kukuona. Staki kukuona.
Staki kukuona. Staki kukuona.
Nimesaka winch wiki yote wakanita, yani do, ganji, mkwanja au pesa. Staki story, ndio nimechill mbele ya keja, udaku ikaletwa.
Daisa jato fegi, okuyo bado ni pedi. MP wangu ni ule utembe na mavedi.
Oya, mambo ya dice muongelea kwa beat, ndio meza mtaa, pelekea chief, hata kura ifanywe leo. MP wako simpitik. Nani tembea, na staki kukuona. Kasi do, masikio yangu haikaribisi udaku. Una bizi ingine, tembeza kiatu. Nataka future lavish ndo niweze kujimudu. Kwa sasa, nakaribisha buda Uhuru. Moika inaweza sana madolari. Hata piuni tu anajua, Rabbit ni mkari. Kasi pesa au biashara, basi tembea. Nani tembea, kasi ganji au mradi, basi tembea. Nani tembea, na staki kukuona. Staki kukuona.
Staki kukuona. Staki kukuona.
We ni mrembo sana, na sitaki ni kuhate, lakini sina time ya love, labda tuplakane. Ile chapa ninayo sahi, hata initoshe. Nikikuongeza kwa budget, nitapunguza note. Plus, ni kupeleke out. Plus, jumu za kisos. Plus, ni kuacheza mfuko. Plus, nguo zile posh. Plus, taxi za usiku. Ile good life of course. Seme tu kweli relationship. Wewe plus mimi, equals madeni. So nitakuacha kwa sasa, nikatafute peni. Ukinsist tu sana, mami tembea. Na staki kukuona. Nilikuwa na mpango, usingie box yangu oli blanda. Ati ulinipenda tangu, hatuwezi kula mapenzi, rent kila mwezi. Ati I love you. Kasi pesa au biashara, basi tembea. Nani tembea, kasi ganji au mradi, basi tembea. Nani tembea, na staki kukuona. Staki kukuona.
Staki kukuona. Staki kukuona.
Rabbit. Nastaki kukuona, kind of like what the Ugandans are telling the US. Like, bruh, we don't need to see you. We don't want to see you. Get the F out of our
Never want to see
space. But that's just kawaida, man. And I think we all agree on that. Like, let's learn to respect each other's decisions
But do you
as
think,
countries.
do you think Kenya as a country can really stand up for itself
No, we
against
can't.
another country and
No, we
say,
can't. Never ever.
and huko.
I mean, Kenya. I mean, you can look
Never.
at, we have specific instances where we
we were actually too.
We can only stand up to Somali.
I know.
Oh, hey, I remember at that time.
But at hizi zenye tuko na madeni zao ama sijui.
Ati Kenya, Kenya says that their policy, their foreign policy is the diplomacy first. like diplomacy first. So,
Yeah.
like for example, I mean, come on, like look at how our Kenyans are being treated in the Gulf.
Imagine, bro.
I mean, that's something that the government could have done something.
True.
Like Aseme, okay, because I mean, there's no secret. Even I was watching a documentary, and the person who an agent, now a guy from an Arab, was saying that Kenyan workers are the ones who are most in demand because they are hardworking, they are learned, all those stuff. So meaning that the government could have said that we need better terms for these domestic workers.
True.
And and even have like talks with the Qataris, Saudi Arabia government. And now it's funny because they're saying that they talked about bringing in more jobs from, of course, the Gulf, and but they have not done any. They have not. There's nothing tangible we can say that they have made for the domestic workers to make their employment terms better.
Yeah,
Right.
We all know who owns these agencies anyway.
I don't know.
They're exporting.
Who?
You don't know, but I know.
Oh shit.
I think I have an idea.
But yeah,
People
a lot
in
of
government.
People in government on these
Yeah.
agencies that are exporting workers, so they're reaping very big on it. So the Ministry of Foreign Affairs definitely sleeping on the job, has been sleeping on the job.
Yeah.
This is Kenya, man.
All right. That's
Just
Kenya.
better
This is Kenya.
terms, man.
That is Kenya. This is Kenya, and this is the Lunchtime Express. We're doing it on 254 Radio. Of course, now it's almost 3 minutes to 2 p.m., meaning it's almost our time to say bye-bye. We're hoping you've had an amazing, and I mean amazing, lunchtime break. Yeah, sijui mumekula nini? I have no idea. But as usual, let's keep it healthy. Let's keep it clean, right? So as we're about to say our bye-byes, I don't know, any parting shots, Bonaron?
Oh yeah. So just to remind people, tomorrow is the Madaraka Day, the 1st of June, and
Not tomorrow, it's on Thursday, actually.
Thursday.
Yeah,
Need that?
holiday na kuita.
Actually, for
Yeah.
something, I just looked and I saw today is 30th, and I forgot.
Yeah, it's
it
May.
has to be like 31 days, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
one day.
31 days.
Yeah.
So what's happening
So
on first?
on the 1st of June,
Yeah.
on Madaraka Day, we have like an experience for people, a 24-hour experience.
All right.
And of course, they will be joining the studio back to back.
All right.
Imagine all the presenters of Radio 254.
Oh my God.
Yani nyinyi mko home.
Oh my
Na
goodness.
sisi tuna show up to
Tuko
job,
kazi.
tuko kazi just to entertain you.
Oh my God.
Like mbona ukose kutusikiza mzee?
Exactly.
Like we're gonna be here. Lunchtime Express is gonna be here.
All right.
We're gonna show up
For sure, for sure.
because of you guys, because we just want to give you some of the best things in life,
Oh, that's what's up.
which includes 100% Kenyan music,
All right. Yeah.
the best music,
Throwbacks to the modern ones,
Throwback.
wakardinalis to the wanavocalis.
mangoma za hadi ngoma ya taifa tutacheza.
For sure.
Great conversations.
Right, yeah. And of course, we'll also be giving you news updates every other hour
Yeah.
from our very, very own Majimbo. So
Yep.
you can stay put for that. In short, you don't need to go anywhere. Just chill at home,
a holiday,
sit back
man.
and relax. And it's
Oh, yeah.
visual. So
Oh,
check
yeah.
us out. Have a conversation with us. Throw us a DM on Instagram. Chat with us live. We're live on Instagram. We're live everywhere. So get interactive and let's make Madaraka Day what it's supposed to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, maybe you want to tell us something?
Yeah. Coming up next, Big Quorum Show
All right.
by Sam Muthande.
We got Mr. Sam coming through. Of course, that is like in the next minute or so.
Next minute,
Yeah, so guys, till tomorrow,
254.
how about we keep it Radio 254 and we keep it the Lunchtime Express? It's always a pleasure, right?
Yeah.
My name is George Mark.
Ron Chege.
Michael Osotsi.
How about we do this the same day, same place? Oh, not the same. Oh my God, look at me. How about we do this tomorrow? Same place,
Same
time, guys. Catch you later. Have a good one.
Bye bye.